Then something like ancient Jericho. I mean, I don't know how many of you have heard about this story of this city, but it's the first city in the story that has a wall. And then, and of course, you can say, okay, the external walls make sense because they defend for the enemy, they protect this city, and yeah, makes sense to have an external one. Why not? But can you see there is also an internal one? Seems like these people really like to construct walls, and this internal one separate the different classes of people. So in the middle, you can find the royalty, the religious people, and outside, protecting these people from the outside people, you have this middle wall, and outside you have the population, the rest of the people. So it was really interesting. Something interesting also is it has just one entrance. And then the entrance was controlled by someone, but just one. So the people cannot interact too much between them, also not between the outside world. And I will invite you now to find similarities from this city, Jericho, and these walls to this story I will tell you. And if you find some similarities, just raise your hand and tell me where did you find? Is this okay with everybody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Find the similarity. I don't have a cookie, also not chocolate to give you, but I promise next time when I visit London, I will bring some lean chocolates for you. Then, in July 2020, I mean, the company noticed, okay, human resources department is not really contributing too much or how we expect to shape in the company itself. Then it's 10 years of this human resource small city there in commerce toolers, and then they have some problems, and the CEO decided to bring someone from outside, and they bring someone, a visionary leader. Is coming, and he's coming from outside, by the way, from another company who was also an agile company who has implemented agility in human resources. So he came in July 2020 and with a clear task: break the walls, and create a vision for this department, create a mission for this department. We would like the HR become an active partner, an active collaborator of the whole city agenda. City is commerce tools, from the commerce tool agenda. We would like them to participate and to bring more. And then he came, and then of course he said, let's break the walls. And then you can imagine what kind of reaction this sentence provoked in the people. But before I tell you a little bit more, I tell you how the people was when he arrived. The people was basically formed by two small teams. One team devoted to hiring, one team devoted to running the payroll operation, we call it operation. And they react to the request. It was kind of you request me, I fulfilled your request, but I don't care why you want this one. I don't care. My task is to fulfill your request and nothing else. Now, they didn't have any goal. They didn't have a specific clear structures, clear communication channel. It was kind of a little bit chaotic, kind of just reacting to react and dispatch to the request that they received from the outside world. And there was a manager, of course, who was there in the door and saying, okay, this request, yes, we do it. No, this request, no, we don't do it. And then put it apart and send it back. And then the team, this HR human resource team, was looked by the outside like, there is a wall, we cannot talk to them, they are hiding all the time, and so on and so on. There was also some territorial boundaries between the team. Then some part of the hiring team members are here in Europe, we're here in Europe, some are where they're in the United States, and the same for operations. So they have also walls between themselves and walls to the outside world. Yeah, it wasn't a small team. It was quite interesting to see that this team was formed just from 9 persons, and still they have walls. I mean, how come? Yeah? They have a small walls between them. The first things that has happened is that the leader, the one who arrived in July last year, he bring this mission. And then in this mission, you can notice in the last part, we would like to be partners. We would like to be perceived as guiders, a co-designer of the overall commerce tool agenda. It means overall commerce tool agenda. Oh, not easy, not easy. It was very ambitious. And that means we need to grow. We need to grow in all aspects. I mean, we are not going just to do hiring anymore. We are going to do talent acquisition. We are not just running the payroll. We really would like to make to help the company to know how much money we would like to spend on people and so on. So that means a lot. And then if we take the status quo and we compare it with what was wanted in July 2020, I mean, you can see huge difference. This strategic business partner, solution-oriented service provider is not the same as implementation of decision reactive approach. It's totally in opposite to this. And then hiring operation should grow to talent management, to employee branding also to organizational development and business partnering, also to academy. So it was a big change. The goals or the unclear goals should become clear goals. We should establish new team structures, working models, processes, and so on. And then also one big challenge there was we need to act as a global team and not a local team, a global one. Then the proposal was this one. The proposal was still having some specific areas, because I mean there are some expertise there that is just there in the areas, and this was the kind of palette that was the proposal. Different areas with different expertise, with different responsibilities, but the idea is work together. Then let's see what's happened. After the leader showed the mission and the vision and the goals and the structure he has in his mind, I mean, the people start to thinking, oh my God, he's attacking us. He would like to break our nice walls. He really would like to open the gates, to make more gates. He is exposing us. He's exposing us to the external walls. He is really attacking us. And this was difficult. Not all the people could swallow that. It was too many changes, too many dangerous things coming into it. I mean, the people outside discover, oh my God, the gates are open, and they start to sending requests, basically, help me to do this, help me to do that. And then the people start to be scared. And then, of course, I mean, we know in all changes, some people cannot swallow and leave. It was the case. And then starting with the HR manager, the one who was there for 10 years, who was devoted to make these walls. Of course, this person say, no way, everything what I construct is now falling apart, and then the people will not be safe, I will leave. And the person leave after 10 years. When the person leave, of course, she was, or he was she or he, doesn't matter, was the gatekeeper of the wall, and then the people start to feeling really unprotected and overwhelmed for so many requests, so many expectations the other organization has on this organization, on the human resource organization. I mean, they start to speaking about career path, about career development, about onboarding, offboarding. They start to talking about branding, employee branding inside, outside, and then it was too much. I mean, the backlog grew like crazy in just a couple of days. And then some other people cannot also resist, and then they leave. They say, no, there is nobody here protecting us of these crazy people, and then I also will leave. And some of the people leave. The brand new employee branding manager also left, but new team members joined. And this make something happen there, something that we didn't like to happen, but happen, and it's that the internal walls strengthens, because new people is arriving and they want to know everything and they don't know how we're working. So then the small teams, the old people who was there for years, they start to strengthen the internal walls. Are you right there? And I noticed something. I mean, expecting to find an agile organization, because also they have this value in the company value. Trust is a company value. And they have this logo. If you go to the web and search for this company, you will see this in the logo. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And then I was so inspired for that. But then when I arrived there, I discovered it was not the truth for this department. I mean, I make an assessment and I find they have big problems. They have a lack of trust. And then with this lack of trust, of course, all the other is feel on this one. I mean, you know, all these Lencioni dysfunctions. And I found this one. So we decided to start working on that. We have some sessions to help the team to understand what a team is and why trust is needed. But seems like the message was not understood. And then we called Almudena. And then Almudena came and made a management 3.0. I mean, a great session. The people start to understand, trust. Oh yeah, this is a team. Now we understand. And then this was the starting of everything. And then we introduced synchronization. Without synchronization, it's very difficult to build trust. Then we introduced bi-weekly synchronizations to share information. I mean, I tell you the truth, the first 3-4 meetings, the people didn't want to talk. They were someone has something to share. Nothing, total silence. Hey guys, please share what you have been accomplishing the last week. Please, do you have impediments that you would like to talk here? Is there some knowledge sharing you would like to? to share? No, nobody. It was kind of talking with myself. So then we introduce also regular one-to-one talks to start to dig in a little bit and see why the people is not talking, why the people is afraid. And then we also insert one team calendar. And this was a revolution. Oh my God, why should I put there my vacation? What do people need to know what I'm doing? Why should I open the calendar and everybody will see what is happening in the team? No. And it was some resistance. Here I would like to stop a little bit and see if someone has find some similarities with the city, more than the ones that I already saying. No one? Okay. Yeah, let's continue.
No, I can answer. Yeah,
please.
Of course, I see the, the similarities. Even though I'm coming from a totally different company, it's the same.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Eva. Very nice. Thank you. And then everybody is free to share. Everybody is free to share. Then after this, I mean, we make up small steps. I mean, these regular one-to-ones open some trust, but it was not enough. It was not enough. So what we did is we started using personal map. And then because we have the advantage that new team members arrive to the team. So I have one talk with the new team members before the bi-weekly and say, hey, could you please make a personal map from you and share it in the next bi-weekly. And then because these people was new, so they didn't know the problems, so they arrived to the city totally like me, happy to be in the city. They didn't know about the walls. Then they make a fantastic work. Then they really make an impact because they start to talking about their family, their career, all this in a very nice way, with picture, with videos. And this start to kind of the internal walls start to trembling. And what I was looking from the people is to create this reaction, to build personal connections. I think this is the first one. The first wall that we need to really take down is our personal walls, and to build personal connection, and then to provoke the following. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was also in London, in this street, in this coffee corner. Yeah, I know it. I didn't know that your brother has played also basketball with, I don't know, my brother or something like this. Oh yeah, I also like to paint. By the way, which kind of painting are you doing? And this kind of reaction. Yeah, it was the same for me. It was the same. I also was in this department, or I was working also with these people. I also had these problems. And then, of course, and I can help you. That's what we were trying to do. May it provoke that the people want to help each other, to develop this empathy, this sympathy, and to create a safe environment. So this exercise worked very good. I recommend this one when you, I mean, there are more, but this one I really like it. So this was one of the steps. And then after that, we decide now it's time to come, sit down, consider the mission, consider the vision, and start defining how we are going to achieve it, how we are going to go there and define a strategy. And the message here, we had several workshops with the teams, and the main message was, let's do it together. We will arrive there together. It's not just your goal, operational goal. It's not just employee branding goal, but this is our goal. If you succeed, we all succeed. So, and then start to breaking the walls between the teams. Yeah. Then the next one, and was I think is still something, I will admit someone who was waiting there. It is still something that is causing a little bit of pain in some people. Is we announce, guys, we will go into the agile way of working. I mean, you can imagine. Agile is not this for development organization. We are not a development organization. We are totally different. We are so special. We cannot share information. We have this GDPR and la 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 la. No, we don't want more meetings. We are so busy. We are hiring like crazy. We have no time. Retrospective, what is that? Ah, no, 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 this do not work here. I mean, all these start to generating this kind of reaction. Oh my God, we are not a development organization. You are crazy. Why transparencies? Who need to know how many positions open are? Who needs to know how many people is leaving the company? No, this is secret. We cannot tell the people that. So this was a very, very thick wall, I could say. Took some time. And then of course, oh my God, the manager is the devil. He would like to control us. And also the managers outside, they would like to know what we are doing because they don't trust us. And very gently, we start to integrate one practice behind the other one to explain the why, and very gently to do it step by step, because otherwise this will be a catastrophe. Then we start with the team stand-up meetings, and we then continue with the retro when the stand-up meeting was accepted, and when the retro was accepted, so we now establish the Scrum of the Scrum for the different teams. The next step was to have a common Kanban board. I mean, in the past, they used to have a list of tasks. Yeah, they used to have it, but they were not Kanban. They were not Kanban board. That was a personal list of tasks. And then in this step, we tried really to bring a common Kanban board with different swim lines for each area. And we stopped to talking about agile kind of terminology. We continue to doing it, but we take the agile out and we say, hey, this is a Kanban board. Say, agile is not there. Oh yeah, it sounds good, works good. And then we start to insert in the things like this one. The next one, we start to do it. I mean, of course, we explain to them, and in special session, what is Kanban? I mean, we were using Jira in that time. We explain what is the backlog, what does it work, what is user story, how can they work. In HR, we prepare some of the user stories for them to notice. It's not a development issue. I mean, it's not a development artifact. It can be used also by us. It's applicable to us also. The next one that we did is we sit down together and make a roadmap. Oh, this was nice. This was nice. A roadmap, the people start to showing the plans to the other ones. We start to identifying some of the initiatives that we need to do together. And by the way, we start to prioritizing together, something that was for them crazy, because why should I bother with the initiative of the other area if my initiatives are on time? What do I bother? But in this session, we explain why. And then we took one cross-functional initiative. where it was not just cross-functional, because several departments, several areas in human resources should contribute, but also because areas from the outside world should contribute. People from IT, people from development, people from even the people who is receiving the newbies, the new employees in the entrance of the company. So we start to making a cross-functional team across the company and start working together with them. And this was the only way to really go out and start working with the people from outside. And it was successful. It was successful. Yeah, we make with all these people retros, we make with all the people process consolidation, training, and so on. And with this one, we start really to breaking all the walls.
May I ask a question?
Via, please.
You're talking cross-functional team. Can you explain a little bit more what's in your cross-functional team?
Yeah, I can.
Sounds like it's a lot of people.
Yeah, I can go back to this one. And then if you can see, I mean, in this onboarding initiative, I mean, there are not just the hiring managers that are coming from other areas, of course, and not just the people and human resources who are the one who will drive the onboarding, but also people from IT, the one who will provide the computer and software and licenses, and people also that is involved, like training department. All these people were disconnected in the past. Then with this initiative, what we did is we form a temporal cross-functional team to tackle the onboarding problem end to end. And then when I say cross-functional team, I mean it was a kind of temporal team who is still working sometimes together, that is in charge of making the onboarding experience something great. So that means we had there people with HR experience, people with development experience, people with IT experience, and branding also experience is forming this team. Did I answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, cool. Then, and this make the magic. Make the magic, because then the people start talking, and then they start to agree on the different concept, on the different terminology, and what they would like to achieve together. We put a very ambitious description on the initiative for the newcomers who will blah 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 blah. We would like that they feel la 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 la, and then this works. Then now the question could be: have all the walls already fallen? Are still some walls there? I mean, I should say, I mean, the walls, they go out and maybe you don't see too many anymore, but I should say that we need to be very, very careful. There are still challenges. Plenty of work is still to do. I mean, we should not ignore that that changing the culture is not something that can happen in 1 year. I mean, we know there are still attitudes there. There are still some beliefs. There are still some assumptions that still are there, and we still do not tackle. So I'd say the iceberg is still some parts there that we need still to work, but we are on our way. We have achieved a lot in these 10 months already. And the message is: do not let our words down. The enemy is inside ourselves, I'd say to the people. They are not anymore the people outside. It's inside ourselves, our own mindset, our own culture. And then this is the story of the walls of Jericho.